So, welcome guys. As the name of the video suggests, we're here to talk about this phone right here, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. But before we get started, I want to talk to you guys about a couple small things. Number one, you guys already know, especially if you've been watching the channel for a while, that we try and upload a new video for you guys every single week. And I know the last video we uploaded was about 2 weeks old. Now, that's not our fault. We actually tried to upload a video about a week ago talking about Apple's newly released services, and we've been kind of going back and forth with YouTube since uploading that video about some copyright issues. So, as a matter of fact, can we play some of the footage like right now? Can you drop? We're going to use editing. We're going to drop some footage right now so you guys can see that we made a video. Dropping iOS 12.2. But in today's video, we're going to focus on something that's kind of new for Apple, and that's their big focus on services. So in this video, we're going to break down Apple TV Plus, Apple News Plus, Apple Card, and Apple Arcade, and tell you guys what we know now. And welcome back. So, as you guys saw, we did try and make a video, and like I said, we're still going back and forth with YouTube right now to get everything figured out as to why our video has copyright issues with Apple. We gave Apple 100% of the credit anytime we used their footage, and the rest of the footage was obviously ours and myself talking. So, update number 2, we are now filming in 4K. Yeah, we officially got our 4K camera in, and this is our very first video that's going to be shot in 4K. So what better way to start off a 4K video? I'll be talking about this phone right here, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Let's get started. So let's kick it off by talking about my favorite part of the Galaxy S10 Plus, and that's the display. Now let's get one thing settled. This is the best smartphone display on the market right now. So the S10 Plus has a resolution of 3040 by 1440, and it is absolutely breathtaking whenever you look at it. Now, a couple things to note about this particular display as well. It is HDR10 Plus certified, which means that you're going to get incredible contrast and colors. So if you like to do a lot of media consumption on your smartphone, you're not going to get a better experience in terms of color accuracy, color vividness, and overall picture than the Galaxy S10 line. Now, Samsung's calling their display the Infinity O display, and depending on which Galaxy S10 you buy, you'll have a different variation of the whole. So if you buy a Galaxy S10e or a Galaxy S10, you're going to have a standard hole punch display. It'll just look like a singular circle was punched out of the top right corner, and that's going to be where your selfie camera lies. If you buy the Galaxy S10 Plus, you're going to have what's called a pill shape or an oval shaped cutout, and that's going to look like the name suggests. You have a pill or an oval cutout on the top right of your display. Now, Samsung was able to do this by using a precise laser to cut out the dimensions just needed for the front-facing cameras, and that's it. So that notch that Apple seemed to make pretty popular in 2017, that's not present on any of the Galaxy S10 models. And in terms of hole punch versus notch, I kind of lean towards the hole punch. I just like the overall look of the display better, and you don't have that feeling of complete unevenness. There's a bit of unevenness whenever you look at the hole punch, but compared to a notch, hey, I'll take the hole punch any day. And of course, if you look at the back of the phone, you'll notice that there's no fingerprint sensor there. That's because Samsung built it into the display, and that's called your ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. Now, it's different from other in-display fingerprint sensors that we've seen on other phones like the OnePlus 6T. Those phones use light in order to verify your fingerprint. The Galaxy S10 uses sound waves in order to verify your fingerprint. Now, they're both pretty cool in my opinion, but the sound waves are going to give you just a little bit more added security whenever it comes to unlocking your phone. Now, overall, the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor has been, I don't want to say finicky because it's been more reliable than my OnePlus 6T, but it still feels like a concept that's not 100% there, or just not as accurate as having the fingerprint sensor built into the back of the phone. But hey, that's an obvious one. But I'm just going to tell you that having a fingerprint sensor built into the display is still something really cool, even though I've been using the phone now for almost 2 weeks. Now, all in all, a lot of the elements that Samsung used in order to put together the Galaxy S10 Plus makes it one of my favorite phones in terms of overall build quality. The back feels really uniform because there's no indent for the obviously missing fingerprint sensor. The display looks awesome, and the lack of a notch makes it look just a little bit better to myself. And I love the color. This prism white color that I got the phone in looks amazing. And whenever it reflects light, it changes colors based on how you're holding it and how it's reflecting light. So this adds up hardware-wise to one of the best smartphone experiences money can buy right now. But no smartphone experience is complete without great software and performance. So let's talk about Samsung's latest spin on Android, One UI. So like I said, One UI is Samsung's new take on their skin version of Android, and as the name suggests, it's supposed to assist you with using your phone easier with just one hand. Now Samsung understands that phones are getting bigger and bigger. I mean, the S10 Plus sits at 6.4 inches. Now I do have large hands, so I don't really think the S10 Plus is too unwieldy, but there are a lot of people who like big phones, but they just don't like the experience that comes with having such a massive device. So that's where One UI aims to change things a little bit. So a lot of Samsung system apps, you'll notice the header takes up about 1/2 to the top 1/3 of the display, and all of your content is underneath it. Now, once you scroll up on that content, it then takes up the full brunt of your display. That just makes it a little easier for you to navigate through menus, messages, your phone application, whatever system app you may be using. It makes it easier to navigate using just one hand. Now, I will say this, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of one, skinned Android, and two, Samsung's version of skinned Android. I think that was by far my least favorite. But since I've started using One UI on actually as far back as my Note 9, I have not really missed other phones like my Pixel 3 XL or the OnePlus 6T that offer a much more stock feeling Android. One UI actually works really well. A lot of the features in it now make sense, and it's much better optimized to the point where the phone has no performance hiccups. So software is starting to work really well with the hardware. And speaking of hardware, the phone comes packing a Snapdragon 855 paired to 8 gigs of RAM. So it's definitely no slouch whenever it comes to silicone. But yeah, software and hardware mesh together really, really well on the Galaxy S10 and One UI, and I'm really excited to see how this software evolves moving forward. I'm really glad Samsung's starting to pay a lot of attention to their software experience. Now let's take a quick step back to the hardware, because we need to talk about three relatively important aspects of the hardware, and all three of them are located on the back of the phone. So yeah, the Galaxy S10 and the Galaxy S10 Plus have 3 camera lenses on the back. You get 2 12 megapixel lenses, one wide angle and one telephoto, and you get one 16 megapixel ultra wide lens. Now we've got a variety of photos and videos for you to look through as I'm talking to you about the camera, and I'll just go ahead and tell you guys this right now. The Galaxy S10, S10 Plus, and even the S10e are capable of taking some fantastic photos, as you guys can see at the pictures you're looking at right now. Now some colors and vividness are a little bit sharper and punchier than what you're actually going to see in real life, but that's relatively typical of a Samsung camera. Now we're also going to show you some standard wide angle shots versus an ultra wide angle shot, and bear in mind that the shots we're going to show you are taken from the same exact distance with no zoom taken. So yeah, as you can see in these photos, the Galaxy S10 line is capable of taking some fantastic photos. Now I do still miss my Pixel 3 XL, however, because I feel like compared to the Pixel still takes better photos, but you can still take some really awesome shots with these cameras, and overall, I think Samsung stepped it up compared to last year's Note 9 and Galaxy S9 line. And one thing about video that I really, really liked on this phone was what Samsung introduced as super steady video. It's basically optical image stabilization on steroids. So we'll show you a clip from a video that I took while using Super Steady. I was riding a bicycle while holding my phone horizontally with just one hand. And it almost seems like I'm floating through the video instead of actually riding a bicycle. And that's absolutely insane. So steady video quality is also really good on the Galaxy S10, and photo quality is really good. So overall, 3 cameras on the back, and you can take some fantastic shots for sure. Now, when you have a phone that's this capable, you need to make sure that your battery is just as capable to get you through a full day, because you don't want to be hugging a wall plugging your phone in on charge because it can't make it through more than half a day. So like I said, my phone is the Galaxy S10 Plus, which obviously is the biggest phone, which means it comes with the biggest battery. So if you have a Galaxy S10 or your Galaxy S10e, your experience will differ slightly. The Galaxy S10 Plus is an absolute battery champion. Has 4,100 milliamp hour battery pack, which is 100 milliamp hours more than the Galaxy Note 9. But this phone is lighter and thinner. Now the Note 9 does have to accommodate for the S Pen, so there is that to consider, but a 4,100 milliamp battery pack in a phone this thin and light, it definitely goes the distance. There are days where I'll take this phone off charge at about 6:45 in the morning as I'm getting ready to head out to work, and I work at a desk job, so I could easily plug the phone in if I really wanted to, but I don't have to. I'll go through the full day's work, I'll come home, watching YouTube videos, playing Pokemon Go, doing a whole bunch of stuff on the phone, and at the end of the day, whenever I go to put this phone on charge at like 10 o'clock at night, I'm still looking at about 35 to 40% charge on most nights. Now bear in mind, if you have a Galaxy S10 or an S10e, your experience may differ just because you have a different size battery. But if you opted for the larger Galaxy S10 Plus, you will absolutely not be disappointed by the battery life at all. In fact, Samsung's so confident in the battery on these new phones that they've incorporated a new feature, well, not new to the market, but new for the Galaxy S line, called reverse power share. So the back of the phone can conduct wireless charge, but it can also emit a wireless charge as well. So when Samsung released the Galaxy S10, if you pre-ordered, you got a free pair of Galaxy Buds 2 as a pre-order bonus. Those headphones can charge wirelessly. Now, they do have the option to charge via USB-C if you want to cable charge them, but they can charge wirelessly overall, and the Galaxy S10 can charge them up. Now, besides charging headphones, the Galaxy S10 is capable of providing a charge to other phones that can accept wireless charge as well. Just keep in mind that while this feature is cool, you're not going to be able to fast charge anything. It's actually going to charge relatively slow since it's going from one phone to another device. Nonetheless, it's definitely something cool to show off to people if you have the phone. I didn't find myself using it too often other than to charge my Galaxy Buds, but it's still cool to know that you can provide that feature if you ever need it in a pinch. You never know what may happen. Now, there are some important hardware details that I left out initially, but I know will be relatively important to a lot of people. So let's go over a couple more fun, interesting features of the Galaxy S10. So starting off with the water resistant. The Galaxy S10 is IP68 water and dust resistant, so don't be worried if you spill some water on your device. There are still two firing speakers that act as a pair, and they are tuned by Dolby Atmos, and in the quick settings you can actually enable Dolby Atmos to kind of crank up the sound. And the best part about them is they don't really get distorted at max volume. They still sound really good at maximum volume. And I'm happy to say this, I can't remember how many people left comments whenever I kept talking about the Bixby button, but Samsung's finally listened and they've allowed you to remap the Bixby button. So there's a caveat with it though. You can remap the Bixby button to launch an application or launch a shortcut of some kind that you can dictate, but you cannot remap the Bixby button to launch any other kind of assistant. So they allow you to remap it, but not in the way that I'm sure a lot of people want to. But hey, a remap is a remap, and that's totally fine. And lastly, the Galaxy S10 is capable of facial recognition using the front-facing cameras, but it's not going to be anywhere near as secure as something like Apple's Face ID. And we haven't tested it. That's actually a good idea for a video. We haven't tested it, but I'm sure it could be fooled by, let's say, I don't know, like a printout of your face or something. So yes, facial recognition is there, but it's not as secure. So keep that in mind. Now we're getting towards the end of the video, guys. And what that means is pricing and availability. So like I said earlier, the Galaxy S10 is available in 3 different variants, the S10e, the S10, and the S10 Plus. If you want to go for the S10e, it starts off at $749, which is a really good entry price, and the S10e is honestly going to be your best value for the price you pay. Now the S10 is going to bump up to $899 starting out, and the S10 Plus is going to set you back $1,000. But don't be paying full price for any of the new Galaxy phones because, as you guys already know, once they're out for a few weeks to a month to 2 months, they start dropping in price relatively quickly. And a lot of carriers out there will even offer you like buy one, get one deals or buy one at a discounted price if you sign a contract. Just know that you do not and should not pay full price for the new Galaxy S10s. So if you're gonna buy one now, just take your time and do some research. I'm sure you can find one for a lot cheaper. So that just about does it, guys. That's everything that I've really experienced using the Galaxy S10 Plus. And like I've mentioned a couple times before, if you've got an S10 or an S10e, your experience will differ slightly, but nonetheless, all three of the phones in this line are absolutely fantastic, and whichever one you buy, you're going to love your experience. I haven't really missed any of my other phones, and that's not something I can typically say whenever I've used a Samsung device. So this is the start of a pretty awesome experience that Samsung's gonna start initiating moving forward, and I'm more of a Galaxy Note person anyways, and the Galaxy S10 just makes me that much more excited to see what Samsung has in store for the Galaxy Note 10. But if you don't care for the stylus and you just want an S10, do it. You will absolutely not regret it. If I missed anything, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.